Hey, this is BJ Pendleton with Pendleton Presents.
Hey, this is Ivan Orr with Grown Folks Music and Eugene Martin.
Very cool. And today we are here to discuss with you all a project that we've been working on recently and a couple different things that have gone into trying to pull it all together. So before we go any further, I'm going to let Ivan take over from here and play a little bit of the music that we got going on. Go ahead, bud.
All right, so yeah, while I hit this clip, this is called 528E. The artist is Ian Gordon. He's a longtime friend of mine, a trumpet player based out of Pittsburgh, PA. And after we play the track, we'll talk a little bit about the production process and some other things that we've been doing to make this music happen.
They don't make them like they used to. We make them like they used to. I or E&T on the valve. Boomer boogie. Bop. Bop.
I would love to start with the sounds that you're getting there. The one thing I enjoyed about mixing this project is, and I guess just to explain the process to people exactly what's been going down, Ivan sent me a bunch of stems, individual tracks, laid out some drums, like some 808 sounds, the individual keyboards, and I went through and I mixed everything down for him to make sure everything was basically put in the right spots, and then gave it a little master session at the end. But I digress. The one thing that I really enjoyed the most about it were the sounds that were coming from the what you were using there. And I'm personally on the hunt and on the quest of educating myself on just all the many ways that we can, in the 21st century, create electronic sounds and pulling things from a computer and everything, because samples and sounds are a lot better than they used to be.
Oh man, yeah.
So
yeah.
I'll ask first, what programs on the computer did you use to create the sounds that you were using?
Sure. So I've been a user of Reason for a number of years. I had to be converted, so I wasn't one of these folks who's been with that platform since the beginning. But I think I got into Reason right around the time when they were doing this thing. It was Reason. It was still Reason, because when Reason started out, it was simply there was no digital audio in it at all. It was just synths and just a great sequencer that had synthesizers in it. But at some point, they went to a combination where they were calling it Reason, and then you had Record, and then eventually, what ended up happening was, it was just like, with the Record part. So then they just made it one DAW. And so I've been using it ever since, I guess about 10 years or so. But anyway, now I am not what you would describe as a Reason power user per se. So I would say I fall along in the camp of, and I'm certainly not comparing myself to this person as far as their prodigious output and what they've done for music. But I know in interviews, listening to Jimmy Jam of Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis, Flight Time fame, he talks a lot about, he just uses the stock sound. so whatever you hear that I'm using, they're presets in Reason. But I think what I bring to the table is just, I guess kind of like the background coming from like playing a lot live and going to school and studying arranging and so forth and so on. It's just a combination, just how you, different timbres, how you put things together. And some of my secret sauce in there is like, there's a particular patch that I use that I may tell you, but
you don't have to tell
or
me,
I
man.
may not. But let's just say it's a very heavy sound, and it kind of I find that I use that sound to kind of fill up the track. So usually my process is I'll start because I play keys. I usually start with a chord progression. I'm just playing chords on the keyboard. This is what it is, and then figuring that out So usually my process is I will come up with a chord progression first. Then I may lay those chords, or I may just go straight to the drum track and lay out
Yeah.
8. And
Mhm.
so yeah, the drum track.
Man, I love that when you sent it to me in the first place, I was so impressed with the 808, the Miami bass sound. It was so impressive. So of course I cranked it up, man.
I
I was
appreciate
hitting
that.
I was hitting that low end hard. Ivan was
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, we could probably dial it back a little bit."
we, I didn't like I said, when we were talking, I didn't realize that much was there.
Oh man, it's great. It's see,
Yeah.
I'm all about the full frequencies of things. I'm really impressed with a lot of the music that people are putting out these days, and I'm not even going to get specific about it.
Mhm.
But it's interesting to see how people are using the recording platforms, the digital recording platforms, as instruments themselves,
Mm-hmm.
and how they incorporate that into the songwriting process.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
amazing to me how much musicality you can get out of the simplicity that people are creating now.
Yeah.
You
That's
know, just
so
like a
true.
couple lines that just running, a couple tracks, I should say, running, and maybe a voice. But it's just amazing the things that the artistic, creative ways that we're able to use those simple elements and then expand upon them and use the full palette, sonic palette. It's very impressive. It's a very less is more. It's a way I really enjoy that style of creating and songwriting, because I feel like you find it in every style of music. And it's just interesting to see the progression. Being a little bit older, growing up, listening to a lot of music in the 90s, it was a lot more just kind of just jammed in your face. There was a lot of stuff happening.
Lot of stuff.
And it's and there's something to say for that.
Sure.
It's definitely influenced the way that I like to put songs together, or the way that my brain thinks about putting songs together. But there's definitely a really cool evolution to the whole process that I'm enjoying seeing how it's done. And I really enjoyed the stuff that you had put together, and I wanted to talk with you about the different ways and what you were using and everything else. So I appreciate you taking the time and getting with me. And this is just going to be one of the first of a bunch of a series of videos. I mean, we've already put one together before, and we'll be back again. And ultimately, the intention is to just give a little bit of an insight into how we are collaboratively doing music together in these interesting times. And the sky's the limit. I still feel like when it comes to the sonic creation that can come down, it's just a matter of just a restructuring of how we go about it.
Yeah. It's interesting. I wrote a post today about an artist, PC Munoz, excuse me, who's out of San Francisco. We've posted his work for a number of times over the years for grown folks, but he was literally talking about exactly what we're talking about right now. He's in San Francisco, but hasn't been able to get into a studio, obviously, for as long as we've been stay in place and shelter in place. And so, but he was able to use what he had, what he has at home, a little bit of garage band, a little bit of some other things. Then one of his colleagues, sent the stems over to him. And then he went even further and sent the 2-track mix to Chuck Zwicky in New York and had it mastered and the whole nine.
Cool.
But again, very, these times.
Well, the one thing too is that I've been in my quest to try to achieve different sounds. I've been trying to get some recording stuff done and just working on the process. And I recognize there's a lot to learn. And if I'm trying to, and ultimately, if I want to achieve something greater, I realize I can't do it alone. So I appreciate you and taking the time and doing the thing and talking with me about it. And I promise I have other people that I'm going to be interviewing just like this to help divulge a little bit more information. You can check us out. You can check me out at pendletonpresents.com. We're on all the social media stuff. You can check us out there too. And Ivan, where are you at, man?
Yeah, I'm kind of all over the place. If you just my nom de plume, search IORR03, That is my username handle on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. And then, of course, I write for Grown Folks Music, and I'm just silly in my free time. So you'll get a you'll get a full mix of all that kind of stuff. So yeah, yep.
Very cool.
Mhm.